The market continues to be resilient. The market continues to be incredibly bullish over the last 2 or 3 sessions or more. We have seen nothing but upside movement. Even when we've had a little bit of a pullback to the downside early, it's that market towards the end of the day. Well, yesterday, another great example of this. You take a look at the Dow. The Dow was extremely strong right out of the gate and started to be a little bit of a pause. And in that final little less than an hour, actually, call it last 50 minutes or so, added 200 points to the Dow and actually finished the day over 400 points to the upside. NASDAQ, not too dissimilar from that, added 178 points in the final 90 minutes or so, actually finished the day, up 178 points, added 90 points in that last 50 minutes. So another great day for the major indices. Look at the S&P. This has been absolutely a great bounce off of those lows as we push towards the higher end. What's really been pushing things? Crude oil, which would have been just a week and a half ago or so, was 129, pulled all the way back towards 94, 95. The last couple of sessions had a little bit more of a rise. And even with that rise, markets continue to go to the upside. I see the crude yesterday right around 103. It was up about 9% on the day, a pretty nice rise. 26 for the VIX is where we closed. The volatility index has just been steadily getting pushed to the downside on a 40 million contract day. That's pretty good volume. When we have those lighter volume days, either up or down, it's not quite as telling. When we see the kind of volumes we've seen on a couple of days this week with these huge moves to the upside, then that gives you a little bit more of a meaningful feel in terms of there is participation in these moves to the upside. What was really sort of powering things yesterday? Energy absolutely exploded to the upside. It was up 3.5%. Materials were up 2%. Consumer discretion was up 2%. Financials, industrials up about 1%. You look over at tech and the semis, they actually kind of lagged a little bit yesterday. They were up. They were in positive territory, but under 1% and pushing to the upside. A lot of those beta energy names certainly absolutely being a big part of why we were seeing the NASDAQ have the kind of move that it was having. So I spoke about beta energy just a second ago. Some of those names, Devon Energy, Oxy, APA, Marathon Oil, talk about a lot of the same names. These are all in the XOP. Take a look at the XOP if you want a great example of a lot of these monstrous beta names that are a part of the energy space. Cardinal Health, we had that for unusual option activity yesterday. That one had a pretty nice day, up about 6% with that unusual option activity. CrowdStrike, DocuSign, Lucid, Zoom, Datadog, you get the idea. There was a lot of different names that were powering to the upside yesterday, and a lot of these names that had been absolutely beaten to the downside. You wonder how sustainable some of these names are going to be to the upside, but for right now, certainly powering things, especially with the NASDAQ. Solar Edge, that's a name that's been having a little bit of struggles of late. Look at SEDG, struggling a little bit. Then you look at the Chinese names. We've had some up days, some huge up days this week, and then yesterday, a little bit of a pullback from those monstrous runs that we had seen. Also, some of those other names like a NetEase and a PDD and JD, those are the names that did show the most pullback yesterday when I'm looking at those Chinese names. So as we get into today, we look like we want to just take a bit of a breather, and we are. And we were down about 150 points early on the Dow, down about 100 points on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ in the first hour completely flipped, down 100 points, up 100 points. On the other hand, you look at the Dow down about 150 points. It did rally off of those levels and getting closer to flat. But last I looked, still down about 100 points right now, just before I came on. Noteworthy today, I thought, was some of the comments from different folks in the Fed. And one of those was from Bullard, who thought about the central bank is going to be raising rates, and he thought above 3%. Now, those are some pretty interesting comments there. We also had comments from other different Fed folks as well. But a lot of that just kind of the market kind of digesting that and trying to figure it all out, because we've heard from Powell. We know the transparency. A lot of folks were wanting to do that half-point raise. They actually did that quarter-point raise. All of that sort of playing into why we're so focused right now on the Fed and taking a little bit of comfort in where the Fed is right now, but still looking at Ukraine, still looking at Russia, some of the meetings that the president's going to be having and all the rest of it. There's a lot going on that side of things as well. So early on, nothing more than 0.5% up or down in the early trading. That has changed a little bit, but not a whole heck of a lot. But we have seen some flips today already. Energy started off positive. That moved a little bit more negative. Technology started negative. That moved more into the positive. About 0.75% to the upside for technology. Consumer discretion down about 0.5%. Now in the first hour, up about 0.5%. So you can see a little bit of the theme that's going on here. A little bit of positivity going in and pulling markets a little bit higher. Moderna, one of those names that had some strength today for sure. Very, very strong. Lennar in the housing space is having a pretty good start to the day. Those Chinese names, Baidu and PDD and JD, those having a pretty good start to the day. DocuSign having a good start. What's not is the earn last night in FedEx. Now, I'll challenge you this. A lot of folks talk about FedEx rather than UPS. I've been a UPS for a really long period of time. Why? Because when I look at what UPS has done from a performance standpoint, it's not even close. Yesterday, I used the example on the halftime report of JP Morgan lately versus Bank of America. Bank of America has outperformed in the 1 month, 3 month, year to date, 1 year, you just continue to go out. This is exactly the same kind of chart when you look at UPS. And why is that? They are a little bit different. We've got a little bit more of a domestic side to UPS, a little more of an international side to FedEx. Take a look if you think I'm wrong or if you want to just prove it. Just take a look at almost every single segment, 1 year, 2 year, year to date, 3 month, 1 month, whatever you want to look at. And you will find out that UPS has been dominant in this field. Take away the PE. Don't look at that right now. What's really performing? Now, on top of that, what is performing in the market? Semiconductors. Semiconductors had a big flip early on. Micron, NXPI. Also look at Starbucks having a little bit of weakness today. Some of those semis, a little bit of weakness today. Nothing huge. Those are flipping fairly fast. And of course, the financials as well. Started off a little bit slow, a little bit weaker, trying to get a little bit something under their feet. We'll see. A lot of trading left in the day. Two unusuals, then I'm out of here. Delta Airlines, this one, 37.30 is where the stock was trading. We had a trader come in, 26,900 of the April 40 calls being purchased, 85 cents all the way up to about $1.30. Very, very large trade. We've seen trades in jets. We've seen them in many of the individual names. This is a very nice size trade we're seeing in Delta today. Plan is the next one. PLAN, Anaplan. It's cloud platforms. This one trading around 48. Quick buyer comes in, 5,000 of the May 50 calls getting bought, $3.70 on 4,000 of those in a single print, but a total of 5,000 of those. Stock was trading 48.15. Stock starting to move a little bit to the upside. Wow, I am seeing something. Real quick break.
Hi.
My wife, once again, wonderful lady that she is. Look at this BLT.
Okay,
I mean,
so today is BLT day. Look at that, baby. With some buffalo chicken in there. Take a bite.
No, I'm not going to take a bite, but I will say this. The guys that are workers on the key here absolutely love this woman because she goes down the key delivering all these great things every Friday. Unbelievable. Generous person. See you later. Have a great day of trading. Have a great weekend.